The Shack Burger, the Baconator, Butter Burger, Jumbo Jack, the Quarter Pounder, all these burgers have been the signature product for their fast food brand. The Whopper is the second well-known burger amongst Americans, behind, well, this burger. Okay, so what is this video about? Or better question, why make a video about burgers? Bear with me here, it's for two reasons. One, for understanding the business side of the Whopper and why Burger King has suddenly started to make changes. And secondly, for personal preference. I'm trying to understand if these changes made the burger entirely better. So why now change their burger formula? We can put it on a couple things, but the headlines read it's because of the constant complaints of their Whoppers being smushed, saying it's a direct response to what customers criticized about. One thing to note about here is, for the past couple months, the president of Burger King has been given a direct line of contact to customers so they can voice their feedback on the menu. Now, I'll leave my opinion on the changes later on in this video, but the question is, why wait 10 years to update the menu? Research says the company knew they needed to modernize the menu, but they also needed to have a solid foundation first, focusing on improving operations and store renovations. This harkens back to when the chain became a holding company merging with coffee powerhouse Tim Hortons, a move they did in part to execute the tax inversion, which meant shifting their earnings from high tax operations such as the US and allowing them to access profits they had in other countries. Even still, Burger King wasn't doing too well. In recent years, fast food brands had to deal with the beef crisis. Burger King wasn't immune to that at all, with fast food prices rising to over 50% since 2020 and beef prices eating up capital. They upped the prices on certain menu products. For instance, in 2024, there was an increase in Whopper Wednesday prices. To combat this, Burger King focused on their chicken menu to drive mixed shifts. But with competitors offering better value prices, customers didn't see the worth in spending on the crown jewel. In 2024, the top 5 burger brands all had a slow decline or increase in sales, not making much room for BK to have any pricing power. In the US, they had less stores than the previous year and mainly focused on marketing and app personalization, something that was part of their Reclaim the Fame strategy, a turnaround launch for their US stores. We can say that it helped, but by how much? Strong demand in global markets is what fueled the growth in 2025, with a 3% sales growth in Q3. Wins such as having the SpongeBob menu and the value menu deals showed that they were listening to customers. They were trying to convert sales from these perks into brand loyalty. And I guess this was the moment they needed to start rolling out the new Whopper adjustments. One thing I can't shake is if they wanted to roll this out in Q1, or was it to offset the wariness customers had about the new AI feature that they plan on implementing. Powered by OpenAI, it's a voice-powered headset to coach employees on what they need to know, as well as give real-time assistance to the crew during their shift. They've also mentioned that it gives alerts to inventory and equipment that is at that specific BK store. Now, what the president is calling a game changer is making their fan base reluctant to buy from them. It hasn't been rolled out fully yet, but the comments, well, they're not looking too good. To me, I can understand why they want to roll it out during the AI revolution, but can't there be a better way to implement AI into the company? And speak of the devil itself, let's get to the review. Now, I'm not a foodie in any way, shape, or form, and I don't really eat quick, ready-made food like this, but I wanted to do this review because I wanted to see how appealing this would be to a layperson like myself. And what better way to compare this burger than with the all-time great Big Mac? Already, I could smell the ketchup, mayo, and onions coming from the BK burger. Now, the first thing I noticed when first opening it is that it's bigger than the Big Mac. I do like what they're doing with the font on the box. I definitely find that more appealing than the Mac's font or logo, which sort of makes the box less poppy and have more of a conservative font style. Their vent holes were definitely bigger than the Mac's. I'm guessing because it's a bigger burger in comparison. They also put a cross slit on the back of the box for more steam to leave. It looked moderately sharp. I'm not sure if anyone would play with their box, but if so, be careful because you might get a paper cut. One last thing I did notice on the BK box was this Heinz logo underneath. And as you'd assume, they are partners, effective as of 2013. I didn't know that, but thought that was something interesting. As you open the box, you do see how intentional BK was at making a quality looking box for the burger, even giving you an option to tell your feedback on how it was by scanning the QR code. Smart on their part if they want future improvements. Some people complained that if there was a box what was the point of having it wrapped up? But I get why they did both, since people's initial complaint was that it kept falling apart. And it was a bit soggy picking it up, but I guess that was from the condensation built up from it being in the box. I definitely didn't mind it because the bun did absorb it well, and after a minute or two, I didn't really feel that sogginess. The mac in comparison was just dry on approach of picking it up and had some shredded lettuce fall off. The Whopper bun is glossier, as you can see how the light falls off it more. Upon opening it, you see that some lettuce and mayo sticks to the top of the bun. They mentioned how they added extra mayo on the bun, so that probably could be it. And with only one patty, you see all the condiments added: fresh onions, pickles, and tomatoes. It definitely smells as fresh as it looks. You can see the applied ketchup and the overlay of the mayonnaise going in and out the burger. I do like the way the cheese is melted on the patty and the bun. It gives off that feeling you're just getting it off a grill from a barbecue or something. This patty in particular does look juicy. It doesn't look well done, but it looks well grilled, if that makes sense. The sogginess on the bottom bun went away and feels a bit moist, but soft, compared to the mac where there's just a touch of mayonnaise on the top layer, sprinkled with shredded onions, or what I would think is shredded onions. With 3 layers, both patties look flatter than the Whopper's one patty. The second bun has some lettuce, pickles, and mayonnaise on it. The bun is softer compared to the top layer bun. And the bottom layer, where the patty looks like it has no moisture, the cheese just sitting on the bottom of the patty, looking like it's glued to the bottom bun more than the patty. The bottom bun is sort of stiff, but not completely. But the layer itself just doesn't look appealing. The ratios are just off, and when you put it together, the patties sort of look invisible. It just looks like there's more bread than meat. The Whopper doesn't really give off that feeling. Although flatter and wider, it looks like it's ready to be eaten. The layers sort of stick out to you, and even the way you hold it just makes you want to have a bite. The aesthetic of the mac just diminishes when you look at it in person versus on TV or a sign. So if I had to be my guess, I'm going off the Whopper just based off its looks and smell. I'll add in their packaging as well because the detail just outperforms the packaging for the mac. I still won't take a bite, but comment down below and let me know your thoughts on what you think about the Whopper.